Las Vegas, this is NAB Show Live, produced by Broadcast Media.
Hi, I'm Brian Salazar, and this is NAB Show Live. We're broadcasting live from Las Vegas, the last hour of the 2017 NAB Show. Have you guys had an amazing show or what? All right, yeah. It's been a great show. We got Janet West, we have Brian Seth Hurst. Have you guys had a great week or what, Janet?
Oh, I've had so much fun. I've never done as many shows, but I've learned an awful lot. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, you had some good panels.
Yeah, and some good parties.
All right, yeah. Well, so this is essentially a party. It's the last hour of NAB. We saw some really crazy cool stuff. Brian, what did you see? Let's talk.
Oh my gosh, well, so I'm a VR producer. So just in terms of the panels, we had some great guests, and I learned so much. And I was like, okay, I'm talking to the guy afterwards, and I'm thinking, if I'm learning this much, then they're learning that much.
Right.
So that was great. So we have first is Josh Dixon. Come on up, Josh.
Come on down.
Josh is the product lead from Samsung for the Samsung 3D 360 camera, which for filmmakers who are, getting into VR, this is a evolutionary and revolutionary product. So Josh, can you talk a little bit about why this is different and why it's a game changer?
Sure can. Thank you for having me. This is our new camera that we're bringing to market. It is a 3D 360 camera. It provides you 17 lenses. It is the ruggedization of IP65. So you take this out into the elements and it will protect the camera. It is a unibody design, so we can do factory calibrations to give you that perfect 3D stitch. The ability with the camera, you have the ability to be able to record up to 360 megabits per second. So it is encoded on the camera as an H.265 encoding, and it sends it out to our stitching software to be able to stitch it and distribute it however you wish.
H.265 I was very happy about, but one thing I noticed in the demos, because I was over at the booth, is there is no, the wind is blowing through the palms and it's blowing through the ivy and there's no artifacting. Wow. It's just really beautiful.
That's awesome.
Do you have any questions for Josh?
It's way cool. It's kind of beyond me. I'm still learning a lot of that stuff right now.
Well, we're waiting for it. Josh, when will this be ready?
That's a great question. We're going through user trials right now, so once we conclude the user trials, we'll be able to determine the right set of features and give you a launch date.
One thing I want to say about doing user trials is it's great because the technology companies, the camera companies, are now starting to talk to the storytellers. And it's kind of like, I talked about it the other day, it's like how John Deere goes into the field to talk to the farmers to get great products that the farmers really need. So Samsung is talking to the storytellers, finding out what we need and responding.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
Josh.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so now we have a guy that I've known very well for a long time, and he's from a company that has sponsored a lot of stuff for this studio, and a lot of stuff Broadcast Speed has done. Aaron Brady, how you doing, sir?
Doing awesome.
Your turn, sir.
All right.
Microphone.
Come on down, Aaron.
Aaron Brady from Vitech Group.
All right, so close to my heart is teleprompting. Been doing it for about 15 years now. And the coolest thing you will see on the booth at Vitech is our new prompter. Isn't that carbon fiber beautiful? Ooh, you should touch it. It feels awesome. But I'll tell you, the very coolest thing is on the back, and that's the Ethernet port. We're not going to be sending baseband video into these prompters. We're just going to set it on the network, and that allows us to put kilobits of data on the network to get prompting anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Anywhere you can ping this Ethernet port, you can get real time live prompting. It's awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, cue the applause.
Sorry, we weren't looking at it, so we didn't have the prompter.
Hey, Aaron, so we have, is it Karen that would talk about the track system?
Yeah, Karen's right here.
So I got to say, I'm blown away. We have this absolutely crazy camera track system, the hexagon system from Vinton, and it's been unbelievable. The guys in the control room love it. Could you talk about it?
Just so you know, I've named him Alfonso, so I don't know if you have a name for him, but that's Alfonso to me.
Alfonso's great. Thank you very much, Ryan. Yeah, the track system is great. It's easy to set up. You've seen us set it up really quick. But what you do get, the important thing is this broadcast quality, movement, control, and it can go anywhere. You can have straight tracks, curved tracks, whatever you want. So it's good to set up, easy to dismantle, ideal for this type of application as well.
Excellent, very cool. And this is made by Vinton. Yes.
Yeah, this is with Vinton. It's Vinton product. We partner with a company in Italy as well. So.
Right, and so everybody knows.
So Alfonso was perfect.
Oh, that's what I mean, Alfonso.
I must be psychic.
So there's an AutoScript teleprompter on there. It's right, auto cue.
It's an AutoScript teleprompter, you're correct.
Okay, so AutoScript teleprompter. It's connected, it's on the track, it's moving, the thing is spinning around, doing all sorts of good stuff, and not having cable issues and whatnot, and I think that's really awesome. We have a control surface in the other room that the guys can just manage all these sets and these
Remote control,
presets.
yeah,
it's great.
They can do whatever they want. As
awesome.
many shows as long as.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Karen. All right, so Janet, go ahead. Your favorite, one of your favorite picks.
Well, you know I'm interested in sustainability and those great big OB vans. They use
Yes.
an awful lot of diesel or whatever. Want to see an OB van in a suitcase?
Yes.
David
let's do it.
Atkins, CEO
All right.
of Suitcase TV. Let's have a look at it. Tell us about it, David.
Hello. So we've been working on this concept for a while now, and we finally have the product in a suitcase. We can move that around. I've just run over from our stand with that. So what we have here is a 3-camera HD production system, completely uncompressed processing, remote control, so the operator can be anywhere in the world. They don't have to be where the event is. All the timing and latency is taken care of, so that when you cut to the beat in a music video, you'll cut to the frame you expect to see. So this allows you to reduce your production costs by not moving people around. It reduces your shipping costs because it's a suitcase. We flew here from the UK with this in baggage. Unfortunately, it was going back at lunchtime and it didn't make it because it's over here. So I'm taking it tomorrow. So this is a great product. We've been working with our lead customer with this on a variety of trials, and it's now selling on the real market. So
What's the weight of it, David?
22 kilos, so it just gets inside the baggage.
It just gets in the, yeah,
Well,
okay.
could you take that in pounds for us that are on this side of the world?
Multiply it by
about
2.2.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, David. That's great.
All right, so there's this guy. I've been doing NAB for, believe it or not, I've only gone to NAB for 7 years. This is my 7th year. Obviously, I'm very close to the NAB family now. I'm in the family. And there's a guy that I've seen for years here. Come over here, sir. The Bro Pro Mobile. HPTV, yes, sir. So last year, he's driving around on a go-kart throughout NAB show. And I was fantasizing of having one of those live view backpacks on the back of the go-kart, and he's covering the show, and he's talking about the cool stuff that he covers. So talk about what you've been doing at NAB for years and how you cover the show.
Well, my name is Tony.
Yep.
Also known as Tony from Cali. What I do is I come to the show and I just look at all the cool things that we have here. And I decided to come with something that was going to make my life a little bit easier, because I don't want to have to carry the backpack stuff, and I've done that before.
Yes.
And I came last year, like you said before, I came with the, call it the Bro Pro Mobile Broadcaster, which was a mobility cart, and it was fully set up with all kinds of stuff on there. I had TVs, I had sound system,
It was insane.
I had the computer on there, and I was live streaming as well. So this is the downscale version right now. This is nothing, it's a prototype, I'm just having some fun with it. But basically, it's just a mobility. It's a walker, and I got lazy last year. That's what it was.
Yeah, but
I got lazy.
you were streaming.
I was
think
cruising.
last
I
year
was
you were
streaming. I
literally
was doing all
streaming
that.
from
But I
a
got
go-kart
lazy. I
coming out
gained a
of
little
NAB
weight,
show.
so I said,
Absolutely
you know what?
crazy.
I need to walk a little
I love
bit.
it.
So
Well-
HPTV, everybody sees that HPTV.
Cool.
It does not stand for.
So next year you're gonna have
I'm gonna have that
I'm gonna have a
unit back
backpack
again.
on. And you're gonna be roaming the floor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you.
Tony's a hacker.
All right, I'm gonna call Shot over up real quick. This motorcycle right here is absolutely cool, and I'm sorry I forgot your name already.
Brad.
Oh yeah, Brad Herndell, CEO of Shotover. Talk about what you have here.
Yeah, so Shotover's renowned, I guess, for helicopter gimbals. That's where we started out. Super stable, cutting edge stuff, and we've moved into UAVs and tracking vehicles and cable cams. So, yeah, we've got a group of guys and we're into bikes. So we thought, why not? Let's just pimp out a bike, stick the gimbal on the front, and then see if we can get some amazing footage. So we kind of went all out and custom paint job for the gimbal. So just to do something that's out of the box and totally different.
Oh gosh, I would hope my bike doesn't fall over with a red camera on it. Or an Aries, sorry.
We actually have a camera person here and a cinematographer, Andrew Hancock,
Yes.
who also happens to be a rider, a biker.
Oh, definitely.
And so I immediately took this picture and he said, oh yeah, I know all about it. You can ride that thing really hard and the camera doesn't move. Just stays
That's
stable.
the guys we want.
That's
We want
awesome.
to take some risk.
All right, Brad, thank you so much.
Okay, great.
Very cool. So if you guys could roll that off the set, actually, because I have something really cool coming in a minute.
Yeah, I think you should start it and then
Exactly.
Drive it off.
and give us a live feed.
Right. And everybody knows that I like production trucks. I would have totally pulled an OB van in here if I could have. But it's, you know, it's, how's that going to happen?
We had one. We had one.
Well,
Look, it's in the suitcase.
right. Well, I know, but I mean, I want like a truck in here. You know. So, Brian, go ahead. What's next?
Okay, so Gordon Daly, where are you? Come on down, Gordon.
Gordon Daly.
So Gordon Daly is from Boxcast, and Boxcast is sitting right here, guys.
Right here.
This is 4K for everyone.
That's right, Brian. What we got here is a 4K 60 HDR HEVC encoder that makes it possible for everybody to stream. What I mean by that is this thing's $990.
It's how much?
$990.
Okay.
You can go to boxcast.com right now and check it out. But it's not just the box, guys. It's the complete live video streaming system. We do cloud transcoding for all the plans too. You just put your video camera in here. Any 12G SDI, HDMI 2.0, now you're broadcasting with the highest possible quality you've got at whatever location you're at. Not every network's very good, so this puppy does a nice job.
So are you choosing the cloud server, or are we using our cloud servers?
No,
or
you're paying a very low monthly fee for our cloud server to take care of everything. It's a complete end-to-end solution with all the bells and whistles that you hope for.
Wow.
So of course, Janet, you know where my head is. It's like, you better be using a sustainable data center where that cloud is going.
And then we know the next discussion, Janet's like, wait a second, the data's being created faster than they can build the data center. That's Janet.
Janet, you're gonna love this puppy. It's got hardware acceleration for the HEVC, so the power is way less than normal.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
We got to go in that direction. Love the technology, but we got to think about what's happening with it.
Thanks so much.
There are sustainable data centers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Gordon.
Great. Thanks, Gordon.
All right. So I used to be an audio guy. I want to call an audio guy up real quick. We've got Paul. Paul, how you doing?
Yeah. Doing good, thank you. What we have, I'm president of Clover Products. We make parabolic microphones, and if you watched the Super Bowl this year, you saw our parabolics being used. We are basically the replacement to the big ears collectors that used to be out there. But unfortunately, those were not true parabolic dishes. Those were hemispheres. So our clarity and range is twice of what the old big ears were. Well, as time went along, people asked for smaller and smaller units. We made a 16-inch unit for baseball. And then a reality TV producer here at NAB asked, how small can you make one? So I took that as a personal challenge, and we made a 9-inch version. And this little guy, of course, a lot of the audio engineers will say, well, that's going to sound like a tin can, but it really doesn't. It sounds very, very natural, and it provides a 6 times amplification. So this dish at 6 feet will sound like your speaker is wearing the lapel, but you don't have to ask everyone to put a wire down their shirt. You don't have to worry about the battery dying in the middle of your show, or all those technicalities that go along with wireless systems. This happens to be our consumer or soccer mom version. You can install the microphone in the little plastic clip, line it up with the 2 little threaded rods, and you're ready to shoot. So it's very simple for non-professionals to use. You can use any omnidirectional microphone that you have, or lapel microphone. So you can plug it into your DSLR, you can plug it into your XLR, your Zoom. You can use a Sennheiser G3 wireless, put it on a magic arm, and now your cameraman can walk around and get the long shot, but you have consistent audio. Wedding videographers are loving it. We've had vows recorded from 50 feet. Obviously, that's an ideal audio environment because it's very quiet. In a situation like the hall here, we've been able to show people how much more directionality you get, so it can cut out the hall noise and provide just the voice, even in the loud environment of the convention hall. And this is our 16-inch version. Thanks, Tony, very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we talked about 4K for everyone, and now we're going to talk about VR for everyone.
VR.
So welcome Michael Kittner from 360 Rise.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody enjoying the NAB show? All right. Well, we're really proud to announce a whole new line of 360 plug-and-play rigs. So anywhere from 24 cameras all the way down to 6, which Brian's hanging on to here. So you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, and you can just plug and play the Yi cameras in there. And what's really nice with the Yi 4K 60 frames a second, you can now produce some really ultra high resolution. This one here is using 24 cameras, so it's fully spherical on the bottom as well as on top. And each one of the holders are all simple plug and play. So you can actually take the holders right off of this and put it right on the rig right over there by Brian and do everything you need to do.
And Michael, how is it synced? How are those cameras synced?
Right now for the Yees, we actually have a cable sync to be able to use that. And then we have some other versions where you can use timecode sync as well. So that's some new stuff coming up.
You used to be exclusively GoPro. Why Yee?
Well, I think a lot of it is the price point. The price point's changed. The quality of the camera is excellent. We don't have any heating issues with this type of stuff. So when you got all these cameras together, sometimes it can get really hot. And by being able to have 60 frames a second is huge. The higher the frame rate allows better for audio sync and video sync, and be able to give you a much higher, much better quality, which is great.
And Michael, what's the retail price on the Yee?
The retail price on the Re is right around $250. So it's about half the price of the GoPro.
Great. So I just want to, 360 Rise has a great community of filmmakers, but I just want to point out, Michael switched over to the Yee ahead of Google, because Google is now, the new jump camera is made of Yees, but Michael was doing this. He made his deal quite a while ago, before the camera even came out.
Wow.
Yeah,
so he was ahead of the game. And Michael has one favorite story. When I first met Michael, you know, this is the democratization of media. This is to make anybody be able to learn and understand and make VR, which is great. So very accessible. So Michael had a demonstration when they were testing cameras and they were shooting underwater. He had an underwater rig. And he's showing us the film and he goes, now, as any producer has a war story, here's what happened to me. And all of a sudden the shark comes along and eats the camera. And Michael goes, and that was $10,000. Just like that.
Oh my gosh. All right.
So if anybody wants to go to New Zealand and get it, we have a $5,000 reward.
Excellent.
But I think these are interesting developments, because we did a show on tiny cameras and it isn't this size now. We're getting them really tiny. We had a guy on my show bring a helmet for a football game, and you can't even see the camera, it's so small. So
well, Michael, everybody in VR, they're responding, again, collaboration with storytellers. Michael's a storyteller himself.
Yeah.
So the reason 360 Rise started was because he didn't get what he needed, so he had to build it.
Wow. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Awesome. All right, so I like things that are larger than life, and cinematography stuff. Not that I'm a cinematographer myself. I like the gear, the big stuff, and these guys from Band Pro over here. They're gonna roll in some. This is my kind of stuff. And Josh, our set manager, he loves this kind of stuff as well too. He's a cinematographer himself. How you doing, sir?
Just fine, thank you.
All right, so we have Jeff Cree, the CTO, Band Pro, Film and Digital. I've known you guys for a long time. We did a lot of interviews over the last 5, 6, 7 years on NAB Show Live, especially when you guys had like huge cranes and whatnot. And those cranes, you know, they're huge in the convention center. But let's talk about what you have here. It's a dolly.
Well, this is a Cinetech dolly. It's actually made in Italy.
Hey, Josh.
And it is one that you can actually purchase. Unlike most of the dollies in the market where you can only lease the dolly, the Cinetech has a full line of dollies that allow you to purchase the dolly for your company. So this is a standard Super Hawk dolly. It does all of the normal functions you expect. It does crab, steer, roundy round. It has low mount, it has low sideboards, front boards, all of the specialty items that you would expect in a dolly for cinematic work. In this case, we tend to be solution company. You have a full anamorphic system here with the 40 to 40, the Panasonic S35 system. So you're full anamorphic with C-motion control and Cinetech dolly push in it all.
So you know the accuracy that something like this has to have. I mean, it's a filmmaker that's using something like this. It's somebody that's shooting a high-end commercial.
Yeah, and the thing that's nice about this one is that it will handle 90 kilos at the head while still handling 200 kilo operators on the arm itself. So you can actually lift everything so the operator doesn't have to try to move.
I mean, it's a serious filmmaker's piece of gear.
It's a serious piece of gear.
So I saw the price tag, but I can't help but ask you so everybody can know how serious of a piece this is.
No. Well, if you look at the whole package here, you're looking at about $350,000. The dolly itself is about $100,000.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but think about it. If you're a guy making a movie that's a $100 million film or whatnot, you want that film to look just right.
Yes, and movement is very important. So having an arm that moves very comfortably.
So does that 350 include the camera?
That's camera, lens, everything.
Okay, so when you give me the dolly today, when I take it home, it's going to come with the camera?
Exactly. We can do that for you.
All right, Jeff from Band Pro Digital Film and Digital. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Janet, who's next?
Right, well, everything's getting smaller, and so Joe D'Amico, are you around? Come on up. And he's got the bridge, which was announced at
Thank
NAB.
you.
Tell us about it, Joe.
So this is the JVC Pro HD portable bridge. This is a bonded 4G LTE hotspot that provides internet connection for anybody out into the field. It works on standard batteries that last over 8 hours. So JVC was the first to put streaming technology into the cameras, so it was kind of a natural next step to have connectivity, offer connectivity to our customers. Most bonded solutions, it's a one-to-one relationship. You have one camera, one cable, one pack. This can actually connect any device. We can have multiple cameras streaming, 2, 3 devices streaming. We can have your phone hooked up to it, your tablet, your laptop, all connected back to your facility via VPN connection. So what's important about the VPN connection is we have two-way communication. We saw an IP teleprompter. Well, there's no reason you couldn't hook up an IP teleprompter here now and have teleprompter out in the field.
Wow.
Or audio or video.
Okay, what are we talking cost for the bridge?
$5,500 is the list price.
Okay.
It includes 2 modems. What's important about our device is you can see the antennas. Sirius antennas on top. RF people know that you need to have a Sirius antenna in order to get some good connectivity. So much more than having multiple modems is having good antennas.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
It was a pleasure.
the bridge, guys.
So I want to get into some of the people on set here, so they're not doing anything here. So I want to talk to Harry. Harry Glazier runs Sprocket. And Harry, I really respect what you do and the program that you have here. So how did you guys just had an awards ceremony yesterday with Sprocket? So let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was great. So we have startups from all around the world that are heavily vetted. So these are companies that have product, have referenceable clients, and the best of the best. We had them from 9 different countries from around the world, all the way from New Zealand to France to Slovakia. And we had 5 winners, and everybody at the show voted on those winners for the best of show.
Excellent. All right. Well, so for those of you that don't know what Sprocket is, it's for startups.
It's a year-long program where industry leaders collaborate with game-changing startups to bring new products to market. We showcase it at NAB, and then we have private meetings throughout the year at our corporate partners' offices. And our partners are Fox, Verizon, Samsung. Our next meeting actually happens to be at Google, and there are a whole host of others. But it's really, what's interesting about it is the startups are the rock stars. So even though you have the CTOs and the chief digital officers of these major companies, they're looking at these startups. Help us, let's collaborate.
Right.
I was going to say, which of the 5 winners most intrigued you?
I like this one.
Harry, no,
I
know they're all your children.
All your children, you know. It's like asking, what kid do you like best?
I didn't
ask.
Wait, I didn't ask what you like best. I said, which intrigued you?
Let me just say this. The underlying concept for them all, I'm going to see if I can sidestep this one, play politician. It's, in real estate, they say location, location, location. Well, here in this world where we're converging media, tech, entertainment, because Sprocket goes in New York, San Francisco, and LA, it's the same thing. No matter whether you're talking about a mobile company, you're talking about a media company, everybody says they're a data analytics company today. So that is the underlying theme with all these companies. So it's companies that were using the data analytics for machine learning and with AI to target. So you got to be careful what you're searching on the web.
Right.
So if you're searching things that you don't want people to know, you're going to be getting those Viagra commercials. So be careful. Everybody knows exactly what you're doing.
All right, cool. Harry Glazier, thank you so much. Let's bring this Vericam out and talk about that. How you doing, sir?
Remarkable. It's kind of hard to believe this is all coming to an end. It only feels like we've been here 9 days.
And how long is that?
Oh wait, we have been here 9 days.
How long have you been wearing that? 9 days?
Actually, yes, I have. So what we're looking at here is a couple different things. We have the Vericam LT, of course, but what's attached to my back is the Easy Rig, and this is the Vario 5, which means it's adjustable between 11 to 38 pounds. And then we have the 5-inch extension arm up on top, and it allows me to remove the weight that I would normally be carrying, because there is no way on earth that I'd be able to carry this camera with one hand. I don't go to the gym that often. And so what we have here is the Serene arm that is attached to that. That's by Flowcine, the same makers that make the black arm. And what the Serene arm allows me to do is absorb the vertical bounce as I'm walking.
Wow.
And all of that is attached now to the Move Cam. We have the top plate for the VariCam LT. We also have the MM4 rather matte box up in front. We attach to 50mm rods, and we have the universal plate on the bottom and the VariCam LT riser plate that's on the bottom of this as well. And I gotta tell you, I have been wearing this a majority of the show, 3 hours at a time, absolutely no fatigue. We recently had an article in Australian Cinematographer magazine, and one of the DPs said that having this easy rig contraption attached to him, his body has saved his career by an additional 15 years. So it's fantastic. It makes everything super lightweight.
What's the maximum weight you can put on there?
11 to 38 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, and we do have a strong version as well, so if you're going to go over 38 pounds, you can do that. And since Las Vegas is all about entertainment, I'm about to do my David Blaine, and look, no hands.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If you want any more information about any of this, you just visit our website at 16x9 or 16by9.com.
And you guys do have some really great products. You always have really cool stuff.
I can tell you, for us, for me right now, this is such a surreal moment. It is like BattleBots or something else with mobile there's cameras moving everywhere,
That's
and they
very
seem
true.
to have their own personality.
It's almost like, Transformers are going to start attacking each other.
Exactly.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
So now we're going to talk drones really quick. Come on up, sir.
How are we doing today?
Good. So we have Carrie. Carrie, how you doing?
Good. I'm with Multi-Copter Warehouse. We're one of the leading distributors and dealers in the United States for DJI products. And one of the highlights of the show is the Inspire 2 that we have here. One of the newest models from DJI that can actually shoot up to 5.2K video in ProRes or Cinema DNG. In 4K UHD, it can also do H.264 or H.265. It's got about 25 minutes of flight time, speeds over 55 miles an hour, with a micro four thirds camera giving you interchangeable lenses with a variety of different looks. So I think drones are definitely a major component moving forward for the film industry. I think it's going to be a real game changer with this particular unit here.
All right. So
I'm guessing it has crash protection, home base, and
return
collision
to home,
avoidance,
front-facing collision avoidance. It has an FPV camera, so the pilot can see what he's shooting, while the camera op can see the feed from the main camera.
Wow, that's great.
So you have two different feeds going in for the two different operators, making it more safe and allowing the camera person to nail that shot every single time. It also has some new features. One of my favorites is called Spotlight Pro, which I can mark a subject, whether it's a person, a car, a boat, a rock, and it will lock that main camera on that subject, and then I can still fly around doing a different path with the camera locked on, giving you the ability as a single operator to get super cinematic looking shots. So it's not going to make a bad pilot good, but it's going to make a good pilot great.
Awesome. Carrie, thank you so much. So Multi-Copter Warehouse.
Multicopterwarehouse.com. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Brian.
Great. Is Jim Malcolm here? Jim Malcolm from Views Camera. So this is also 4D stereoscopic photo and video, but with a simple one-touch operation. It's got a great low profile to get into tough situations. And by tough, I mean,
And we can do tough too. No worries. Yeah, this is actually the Views camera, and before I talk too much about the Views camera, I gotta say from an NAB perspective, the changes you've made to bring more creators in, using media, entertainment, and technology is great for us. I'm also the president of the Imaging Alliance, and so to be able to look at more of the creator community is just amazing for us. So thank you for all of your hard work. In order for us to give the community something to create, Humanize has created the Views camera, which is an $800 virtual reality camera. But just because of the price doesn't mean it's not quality. It creates two 4K videos, a full 4K 4096 by 2048 for the left eye, and the same for the right. So you end up with a 4096 by 4096 frame on an $800 camera. So the Views is a shoot and store device, and then we render on the computer. It takes about 1 minute to render 1 minute of video. So to go back and see post what you shot, it is Super simple and super quick.
Is the camera auto stitching? Is it in camera auto stitching, or is it in the rendering that it's stitched?
So we render in the computer itself. So the camera is just a shoot and store device. That's how we're able to make it so small and manage the heat inside the camera so we don't have shutdown. And you have one controller that controls all all 8 cameras. And the camera itself will create also 4 tracks of audio and ambisonic 1 audio together with a 360 video.
How long can you shoot with it?
So the camera battery life's about an hour and a half and about 3 hours on a charge. We do create about 1 gigabyte of data for every 1 minute of recording. So if you have a 64 gigabyte card in there, you've got about an hour worth of storage.
Cool.
Great.
That's wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right, we have Zeiss here. Come on down.
Christoph.
Hi, this is Christoph from Zeiss. We have shown on this show our new line of CineLens CP3. So 10 lenses with a great Zeiss cinematic look that's known by every major DOP in Hollywood and in the world. Great cinematic look, great sharpness, great optical quality. Plus, in this lens, we have integrated some technology that's brand new, a lot of lens data that's really useful for VFX production, CGI integration, stitching of different scenes. So these are data about distortion, lens characteristics. So basically what this lens will allow is, this will allow smaller production, independent filmmaker to access the technology and capabilities that were only available now on blockbusters. So, yeah.
Well, Christoph, thank you.
I was going to say, one of the interesting things we had on the lens panel was we've got the technology which can give fantastic images, but there's actually demand from customers now to create vintage looks.
Yep.
And therefore the lens companies have got a whole new range to develop.
Yes, exactly. So basically with this lens you can imagine, first of all, matching or creating your look, because the lens data are given and then you can recreate your looks later in the post-production. So it's really, for a lens for $5,000 allows you to really work like a star DOP, more or less.
All right, Christoph from Carl Zeiss Lenses, thank you so much.
Thank you.
By the way, we borrowed a lens. We have it in the control room for you, by the way. Just I'll mention that. All right, so now we have a 360 camera. I would love to chat about that. And Brian, I'm going to let you take that away.
This looks like the Nokia Ozo.
Oh.
Yes.
What's his name?
It's the Nokia Ozo, but I'm actually from a company called...
Oh, microphone.
And I'm sorry, who do you work for?
Okay, so I'm from Motion Impossible from the UK.
Ah, so you are Andy Nancolis.
I am, yes.
All right.
Welcome, Andy.
Although I'm carrying a Nokia Ozo, it's actually the remote dolly that we're bringing. So this is the world's first fully stabilised remote dolly for 360 cameras. We launched this last year at NAB, and I've been selling and service work busy for the last 12 months. It's basically a 4-wheel drive remote control dolly that is completely stabilised. Give this a quick wobble here and see what we're doing. So we've got vertical axis damping and a gimbal joint that keeps a horizon level. So this basically gives you silky smooth, stabilized footage to work with.
I'm taking your card. It is solving a problem that is the most common problem we have, because if you don't have a stable camera, you're going to have motion sickness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's that. And also, one of the other problems with dollies and motion is that sometimes, maybe not so much on this, but if you're using different rigs with different cameras, you can easily knock the focus out of, knock the camera out of focus.
Yep.
And so to have something that is the stabilizer that gives you this smooth operation is great. Solves a big problem.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and our system will take any VR camera on this one up to about 5 kilos. And at NAB this year, we've brought some new prototypes with us that are on our stand, which give us greater payloads, much better control system, and we're bringing recordable movement to remote dollies this year. So watch out for that in September.
All right, cool. Thank you so
very
much.
I was just thinking, oh my God, I can repeat that shot now. I don't know what it is. Yeah, excellent.
Exactly.
Okay, keeping your card, Andy. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, so now we have Sigma. How you doing, sir? If I can keep my voice going.
You were like totally making my day, Ryan.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Andy, which company are you from? Well, you are from
I'm from
Sigma.
Sigma, yeah.
Okay, great.
So we are showcasing our brand new cinema lenses. As of September, we announced 10. So this is a new market for us. So this is our first NAB, which is really exciting. This guy I'm showing off here is without the powder coating, of course. But it's to show the durable construction that our lenses are made out of for cinema. They're fully weather sealed, full metal construction. Out of the 10 lenses, 8 will be full frame. So they'll cover their full frame sensor and up to 8K resolution.
Excellent.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, new for us, but we're really excited to be here.
It's beautiful too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So I did a live remote at GoPro just yesterday to the studio. I'd like to have you guys come on up, if you don't mind, please. That'd be wonderful.
We are GoPro, and
oh, go ahead.
On my back, right here, like, what the heck is this?
It's another suitcase.
No.
Oh, what is it?
The Karma drone. So, this is the full setup you're seeing right here. $10.99 comes with the Hero 5, and the controller, and the stabilizer, and the handheld grip.
Very nice.
It's your full land, air, and sea ecosystem. So here's your air. The nice thing about this, I have my nice little friend Green over here helping me out. It fully extends both arms and legs. Quick, ready to go. You can leave the props on, put it in the case. Comes with a handheld controller. Has the integrated touchscreen display, so you don't actually have to hook up your phone to control the drone itself. It's all in this little suitcase package right here. The nice thing about this is say you're like, I'm kind of sick of flying right now. I just want to do some stabilized handheld footage. Well, what up? You got the Karma grip. And turn that on.
Oh, that's right. You were showing that to me on the remote yesterday.
Yeah, so
that's way cool.
It is, right? It's like
Yes.
your full land, air, and sea. And the nice thing about this is that you got the handheld stabilized footage, so you want to follow your buddies down the mountain, snowboarding or whatever, you get to the top of the cliff, you bust out the drone, put it in the air. The other nice thing about this is the camera comes out, so it works with Hero 4 or Hero 5 Black. You can take the camera in the water. So there's your sea. Really
Cool.
nice
You know,
footage.
I love that this is so quickly deployable.
Yeah, it's right.
Because with drones, I mean, you're sitting there, once you get it, and drone pilots are pretty quickly, but still, if you suddenly you're riding along, you got your drone in the back seat, and you go, oh my God, I really need to get this. Boom, you're up and running.
Yeah,
That's great.
props on and everything. Good to go.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, who do we leave out? Do we leave anybody out? Power Vision. Brian, I'm going to let you take this because this is your thing.
Power Vision. I missed you guys, so I'm not quite sure what Power Vision is.
That was my favorite.
But then there's no business card here, so if you guys, I'm just saying, we work our butts off. We should get some contacts out of this.
I gave them.
Yeah,
I have it. This is my favorite product. Okay, let me just grab
Oh, well, no, go ahead and show it.
Okay, let me show I'll give it to you later.
Yeah.
How's that? Okay. So,
Nikki
Power
and I are
Vision is a
close, so no
robotics
need to worry.
company.
I'll make him a coffee.
Okay, perfect. Okay. My name is Craig Glover. I'm the marketing director at Power Vision. We're a robotics company, and we've got a new product that we just launched on April the 13th. You can probably see the lights peeking out of the backpack here. And what this is the first to market submersible underwater drone.
All right, now that looks cool.
Oh, wow. This is the Power Ray.
Me one.
Yes,
I want one
exactly.
for Christmas.
So this is the Power Ray. It's a starting point at $1488, and we have 3 different models of this actual Power Ray.
How cool
This
is
is
that?
the actual the standard model, and then we have the Angler model, which has the sonar system on it that also reads water temperature, landscape of ocean surface, and also a fish finder for up to 70 meters down.
Wow, so Nikki, was this your pick?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
So-
You know how I love the drones and I love new toys, and
Right.
this is the first of its kind, so it's a new toy.
Yes, and it's going to go. It'll be in stores starting June 21st.
Got a couple questions.
Sure.
Depth. I mean,
Yeah.
the fish finder goes to 70 meters, but how deep does that go?
100 feet, and it is
Wow.
and it is tethered. So you have 150 feet of total length to go on this product.
And other than the tether keeping the, actually you could probably catch some big fish with that too.
Well, you can look at some big fish. That's for sure.
It kind of looks like a stingray.
It does,
in a way,
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. It's exactly what it's
Oh, really?
modeled after.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the Power Ray.
To
Wow.
fool the
Oh,
other fish. I
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
But is there anything else in the tether? Your controls are in the tether, correct?
So
Or are they?
that's your control here. It's basically piloted just like a drone. So you have your regular remote control, and it has what we have here is this is our base station. So one end of the base station goes on this tether, and the other one goes here. So you keep this on you, or within 25 feet of your
I gotta ask. I mean, working underwater, the signal underwater, is that no different than the signal in air? Or
Okay, there is no signal underwater. That's why there's the tether.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
Well, yeah, you can't
so
send
this is
radio
not only
frequency
going to be used
well,
for
you can,
family
but-
fun and vacations and
Right.
stuff like that, but it's also going to be scientifically used. We're talking to some very big marine life places that we're going to do some work with, and we're also doing a lot of different things on the search and rescue side.
Craig,
So
real
let me
quick.
just tell you, because one of the things that we try and do that just happens here is we get to meet a bunch of people who should be connected.
Yes.
And so we are now working with TR Lunet, the salvage company.
Okay.
And they need to know about you. So I do need that business.
Yeah, I will
card.
get it for you, for
Great.
sure.
Awesome.
Craig, tell us about the VR.
Okay, so we've established a partnership with Zeiss, and they are going to be our partners with our VR goggle that will actually be a head tracking system for the drone.
Is that the Zeiss one? Or?
Yes, this is the Zeiss. This is the Zeiss PowerVision VR goggle for this drone.
Oh, developed specifically for
Yes,
that.
specifically for this. And so what it has is that's head tracking. So if you put the goggles on, and you want to explore the drone, you have their app or your phone inside here. You can actually do head movements to move the drone.
Terrific.
Oh, that's so cool.
Terrific.
That's really
Where are you guys
interesting.
based?
We're based in San Francisco, California. Well, San Mateo.
Okay, well, it's time to move to LA.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. All right, thank you so
We don't
much.
see very much in that murky bay, that we were in. But we did do something really fun a couple weeks ago. We went to Morro Bay. We dropped it in the water at night with the seals and let them play with it, and they absolutely loved
Oh, that's so cool.
Where's the footage for that?
it. It was very murky and very dark. But they loved the lights. So when the lights were on, they were like, swimming around the lights and checking everything out, kind of hitting it with their flippers. It was a really, really fun experiment.
This is great. I just want to say, Nikki, you rock.
Thank you, thank you.
So Nikki, is there anything else that you saw? And thank you so much, everybody.
That's great.
So Nikki, anything else that you saw on the floor that really interested you?
Everything. I love VR, so the VR pavilion was my playground for a little bit.
Yeah. Post-production world is my thing. Like, that's the first thing I ever did when I went to NAB for the very first time 7 years ago, and I love it. It's over in South, and it's a great location for it. And but I like, as far as like actual like learning and stuff, I love that. So
I think I stopped by PowerVision like 4 times. I was like, can we just play with it? They also have the egg drone, and you see the egg folds off from an egg to a drone. Just every time we're like, hey, what else do you have back there?
very nice.
Did you get us any coupons, discounts?
So I think that he said we take that with us.
Oh, that was great.
Exactly. All right. Did we miss anything, guys?
Well, Nikki and I are now planning a vacation to St. Thomas together. So, Craig, you might want to join us.
Thank you, Craig.
So, excellent. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. Did we miss anything that we were going to chat about? All right, so let's go real quick. Chris Kitchen. Let's get you on the
Hey, Ryan.
I almost said on the phone. So Chris, you have worked with all our crews, and you worked with with a lot of exhibitors, getting everything scheduled and everything. And this is your first NAB. What was your experience?
This is my first NAB. It was surreal, really, seeing all the different technologies from post-production, lighting, everything. Honestly, some of my favorite stuff was, seeing all this new gear, all these new rigs, meeting all these great people. So, I don't know. It's just, I look forward to next year's NAB.
Excellent, and you'll certainly be back. I got one guy who's like just hoping I'm not going to call him. It's Josh. Josh, get on the microphone, please. Come on down.
Hi guys.
All right, so Josh is a cinematographer type. He screams what the industry is evolving into. He's a photographer. He's a cinematographer. He edits. He creates graphics. You do all sorts of great stuff. So
We do a lot.
And never losing your very nice demeanor.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly. So talk about, you've been on the stage. You've been set manager all week.
I've been right here.
So
Right.
yeah, thank
And
you for
he's
that.
been really good.
Yeah. So talk about the things that you've seen. I mean, or what maybe has really interested you.
Honestly, the scale of NAB and the organization of all these companies and the fact that they're all here, all together, all ready to give their best about their products on a wonderful stage and a wonderful setting. That's my favorite part of this. I think it's beautiful.
And what I love about the NAB show is that it's networking. It's not just about the gear and the software and the learning, and that is amazing.
I've
But
met
it's the
a ton of
people
wonderful
that you
people.
meet, and
Absolutely.
it's actually a closely knit community. Yet there's 100,000 people, right?
You would never know.
And you never know. So it's really awesome, and that's what I love about NAB show is the people and learning and
Me
all
too,
that.
yeah.
So
I'm grateful for everybody here. Thank you guys all for being here.
All right,
This is
so
awesome.
thank you, Josh. Hey, all right, so I'm going to go back to Harry. So Harry, other than Sprocket, is there something at NAB that really interests you?
You know, I just like the whole way it's set up. 5 years ago, when I first started talking with NAB, and I see somebody out there, Michelle scratching her head.
I know,
Chris
I'm
is not
looking at
there.
her over there.
We talk- All the marketing for the show, the branding. So this idea of MET, we were talking about it.
Yes.
Media, entertainment, and tech.
Yep.
People have been talking about this for years. It's finally coming together, and NAB is now the place where it's happening.
Yes.
And Sprocket is kind of the microcosm of that. And what's so fun for me is that we see these startups from all around the world, and then we see these media tech entertainment companies that used to be in little silos and these walled gardens going, you know what? We're not going to be around if we do that anymore. We better start collaborating. So I see these fierce competitors collaborating and then bringing new products to market. And with NAB, when I saw that, we talked about this, and they came up with the MET effect. I'm going, oh my gosh, this is great, because we have our meetings in the media entertainment tech capital. So New York, San Francisco, LA, and MET is what the show is becoming, which is really, really cool to me. So it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Harry. Hey, so Adam.
Yes.
You're a cinematography kind of guy.
Yes.
So what interested you at the show? Was it like cameras? Was it lenses? Was it software? Was it what?
Well, I am a huge fan of the moving camera, as you might know from what I developed.
Yep.
So there's quite a number of new technologies that are involved to make the cameras use much lighter cameras. The fact that we can now generate images from cameras that was once a big film camera, that are now very small packages. The lenses oftentimes are bigger than the what's imaging them, and that fascinates me because these are no longer compromises anymore. So the Mini Alexa is incredible. The VariCam light's incredible. A lot of the Sony cameras. So all of these really just blew me away, and it paved the way for me to do what I'm doing now, which is this system.
Right. All right. Cool. All right, Adam. Thank you. All right, we're gonna give it away to Kate for a second here. Kate. So Kate did a lot of our social media on the floor, and she saw some of the cool things on the floor. Kate. Was there anything special that really struck your interest on the floor?
I actually was really interested in all the 360 cameras.
Yeah, and that's the thing that Brian was really into too. I mean, he's AR, VR guy. So, all right. So Erica, you worked with a lot of the companies that got on the live show, and did you, with all your collaboration, was there anything special for you?
I can't pick just one.
It sounds like Harry Glazier, right?
Everything was so cool. I just,
Well,
you guys are amazing.
You are cool, and we want to thank you, man.
You kept the machine running. Well done. Okay, so Janet, you're all about sustainability and whatnot, and so let's talk a little bit more about some of your panels that you did with sustainability and.
Well, unfortunately, one of my guests was unable to make the panel, but I have found companies are actually saying, I didn't know that, I want to talk to you more about it. When I give them some of the statistics, like this morning, we're approaching 44 zettabytes of data in the digital universe. That's like 27 zeros, and it's growing incredibly. So I've spoken to some companies, like some of the data centers like Equis, who are very serious about what they're doing. And I know Brian works with the Switch in Las Vegas. There is an issue, but I think companies are finally starting to say, we're going to do something, we're listening.
Well,
so
and you know what's
really
amazing
good.
is that in the case of Switch, because that's the one I'm most familiar with, the green credits, because Switch is entirely green powered, the green credits then transfer to the clients that are actually in the data center, so they can say, we are green. So it encourages companies to get their green credentials by putting their data in sustainable data centers and then being able to talk to consumers and talk to the industry and talk to analysts and talk to the markets and say, we are green. So,
and I assume that's the discussion where you mentioned that the data is being created faster than the data centers are being created.
Which is why the technology has to change to make storage capacity much smaller. One of my panelists mentioned that we need to start looking at new materials so that they don't heat up which of course is a problem. But when you miniaturize technology, it gets hot. So there's a lot of development that has to take place.
Well, and what's great is, you know, we are all paying for this data. We are all paying for the data centers.
Yeah.
So if you get a company that is in a sustainable data center, where it's a smart building, where everything is cooled, where the cooling is even in the rack, then your gear lasts longer, the replacement cycle is longer, and you're not pulling gear out and replacing it because it's hotter at the top and cooler at the bottom. You can just leave it, and technology is really advancing to help that happen.
But there's one thing you do have to watch. A lot of companies are still saying, oh, I'm carbon neutral, guys. All they're doing is buying carbon credits, which is shifting the problem to somewhere else. And I think some of the data centers that are serious about it, like there's the Cloudberry in Sweden, where a lot of companies are working really hard to make things. And there was something, I use the expression industrial symbiosis. Companies that are setting up new businesses, if somebody's got waste heat, like a data center, well, set it up next to another company that needs that heat. So people start using each other's waste, and it's not
You really
waste
want
anymore.
to, when you're looking, I mean, we're getting way into the weeds here, but you want to look at the PUE, which is the amount of power that it takes to run a data center, and it's the waste. So the lower the PUE, the better off. And now they're getting down to, like, I've seen 1.8 and at times 1.3, but 1.8 annually. So much better for everybody.
Yeah, it's improving.
And there's a reason, because your gear, like I said, is going to last longer. And also in co-location data centers, you get to work with other people, and you get to understand the environment and create great stuff.
But there was one other thing that came up in a lot of my shows, and that was skill set. The reason that we've got a problem of the transition and the technology change at the moment, how do we actually get people with the skill set? Because if they're going to go to a college 3 years from now, it's all going to be different. So companies are having to start working with individuals. A guy this morning talked about apprenticeships in England. That's a brilliant way. You learn on the job, but at the same time you get a qualification. So I think in the next year we're going to see a lot more people trying to help educate people with the way the technology is going.
Okay, so one other thing that I loved was Gals and Gear.
Yeah.
And the gender balance show that you did as well too. The Gals and Gear event was really awesome.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your gender balance show.
Well, I think the summary, particularly Sadie Groom from Bubble Communications, she said a lot of women, they see, for example, the NAB news. You go through it, how many pictures of women, girls? Not a lot. So they get turned off. And what Sadie was saying, if you're a woman and you want to do it, go do it. Yeah. There's no excuse. I've been in this industry a long time. I remember being the only woman in this area and the only woman in that area. And I'm still here, and I've had a hell of a good time. And it's a great industry. It's glamorous. We do fun stuff. So a lot of women out there, join us. It's great fun.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Janet flies in from France to do this show every year. And so it's a heck of a hike. So anyways.
It's fun though, I love coming.
So one thing that I like let's talk about our favorite halls now. So South Hall, I love South Hall because I'm a post guy, right? I'm a post-production guy. So I like, I like, Autodesk, Blackmagic Design, and all the different post-production stuff, like workflow stuff, right, Harry? So, it's like asset management, managing those assets, storing those assets, keeping those assets protected with companies like Quanta. Just great stuff there. Central Hall is great because obviously you've got the lights and the lenses.
It's all about cinematography.
Exactly.
Yeah, cameras.
Exactly. And North Hall, there's some great stuff going on here. Why don't you talk about some of the other things in North Hall as well, too? Like the EdTech Pavilion.
EdTech Pavilion that Lori runs is phenomenal because she's bringing in the brands and the influencers and having conversations. It's kind of following up with... So that was wonderful, and actually Lori and I have done a bit of collaborating on that with the different startups and her people. Then also over on the virtual reality area, which is right next to us, and so that was cooking. And then I think we had. I'm trying to think what else was over there. I was kind of like stuck in the hub, so that to here and going back and forth. But
you had the AR/VR theater,
correct,
and you had a combination of programming. And,
and we had Futures Park over there. Yep. The stuff that's not quite ready for prime time. Then Startup Loft, right, which is just very early companies before you get to the Sprocket. And then we had. I'm sorry, what else was over there?
Digital Domain was over there.
Okay.
And long story, a long time ago, I was offered a gig to help design a digital domain facility in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I did not end up doing it. I just decided not to. But Digital Domain, I met the new CEO. Really great guy yesterday. They're a very innovative company. They're doing some great things. But right next door to them, and I'm a truck guy.
Yeah.
I don't drive a truck. I mean, I drive a convertible. That's Ryan. But I'm talking about production trucks, like broadcast trucks. There was all mobile video, and we did a live remote in there, and that was absolutely awesome. It was just the toys in this place. So, anyways,
you also had a conference program over there that we got to participate in that actually had people who are rolling up their sleeves and actually making VR. VR is so overhyped. And we wanted to get the people that were actually making VR in, and every panel was packed because these were people who were actually producing VR. And then you watched around North Hall, companies that were here last year have quantum leaped in their own development. So you had Liquid Cinema and you had Nokia there. They were out there last time. So the community was there, and there were a lot of broadcast people coming through North Hall, which you didn't really see last year. You had a lot of curiosity, but now you see what you're talking about is these bridges are being built now. So it was great.
Janet, anything else you want to share? We're just a couple minutes away from being done.
I was hoping Ari would be there because one of the things I saw on their stand was brilliant. They've had the Sky panel for quite a while, and we haven't touched on lighting at all today. What their Sky panel now does, it's got 9 settings, and you can actually simulate through the light a fire, a disco, the top of a fire truck, the top of a police car. This is brilliant because that's a huge cost saving in doing some of the effects.
Excellent. Brian, anything else? We're going to wrap up in just a moment.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you. Because this was so much fun.
Do you know we had like 40 hours of broadcasting? 40 hours.
I feel like I was on every one of them because I'm so tired. But
So we're averaging like 300,000 viewers a day.
oh my God! Well, I got to tell you, but to commend you, what an amazing crew. What a pleasure to work with these people. Very supportive. When we came up to the desk, and I think this is as important as any technology, is the programming that it enables. And when we come up to the desk, I just felt so taken care of, from Jude, who made us look pretty, to Erica, who got us where we needed to get on time. And, going back and forth, we were all over the place, and yet I felt like we were totally connected. I'd see you up there. It was time to throw. Ryan's going to throw to you. Okay. But it is just the guests, the caliber. I hung out for Janet shows to watch. It was just really great. This year, I got to say, was fundamentally different. I felt something different this year about NAB that I haven't felt in a very long time, which was kind of this thing that's gelling. Every once in a while, a conference has a key year where it just goes, Fook! And I think that might have been what happened at this NAB.
Yeah, definitely. It's very exciting. The Met 360.
Yeah.
So it's about media, entertainment, technology. Michelle's looking at me smiling right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, but. We're really grateful to be here and be producing this show this year, and I want to give our crew a huge round of applause, please.
Those over the back there as well.
Yeah, and Christina and Bill. We had a crew, I think, of about almost 30 people here producing the show, and it's been an absolute honor. We had almost 20 companies sponsor the studio and get together, like with helping us put the equipment in, and New Line has been an amazing partner. We have built a really awesome partnership with them. So thank you. What camera am I on right now?
There you are.
Number 2.
Okay, so from the Broadcast Beat family, thank you so much for watching us all week. We should have hit about 1.2 to 1.5 million viewers. That's awesome. Very exciting. We'll go for a larger number next year, I hope. Everybody, thank you again. Have a great trip home, and we'll see you in 2018.
Terrific.